Hello again, guys. So this is a video request, a Rapture dream request from Hunter Crowley. I really hope I'm saying your name correctly. And brother, to tell the truth, I'm amazed that you've remembered this Rapture dream. Because I've shared this dream for over a decade now. And I'm not even sure if it's still on my channel. But since you've requested it, I'm going to go ahead and share it again. So in this Rapture dream, which was pretty awesome by the way, it started with everyone was observing the orangish, bronzish looking planet that was just starting to come into view in the northwestern skies from where I lived. And this planet also had a moon that was orbiting it. This moon had a very large crater or indentation on it, which was clearly visible to everyone that was looking at it. And so when I had seen this planet, I knew that it was a clear sign of the end of days. And as a matter of fact, there were some others with me there in the dream. And in this dream, my mental capacity was expanded by several folds. And as a result, I was able to explain to them exactly what was about to take place and what was occurring. Now, I have the understanding in my heart, but as far as explaining it in a way that you guys will understand, like I did to the folks that were in my dream, that would be impossible. Because I'm currently nowhere near that smart. But from what I remember that I was telling them, I know that I was mentioning something about the galactic center and our planet passing through this plane in the galactic center and the numerous effects that are going to take place as a result of us passing through this galactic center. But like I said, I'm definitely unable to relay to you guys what I had told them in this dream. So now, I remember some details of this dream that I choose to leave out because they're irrelevant. But right after I explained to them what was about to occur, we noticed off in the distance that these very small rocks started to fall out of the sky. There were these tiny meteors that were the size of a nickel that started to fall down in the distance. And so it was sporadic at first, but then it started to get heavier and closer towards where we were. And then they started to get bigger, from the size of that of a nickel to that of an orange. And then more started to fall, and it got even heavier. And we were all watching this, beloveds, and we were completely captivated by this unprecedented spectacle in the skies. Because I can tell you one thing for sure, it was absolutely spectacular to behold. And it reminds me in somewhat of like when the volcanoes go off over there in Hawaii, and you see the lava spew up many feet into the air, and it just looks so beautiful, but we all know how extremely dangerous it is. Well, in like manner, so was this meteor shower that we were all observing. And so this meteor shower just got out of control, beloveds. It just started raining down everywhere. The meteors now started to get so big that they were like the size of cars and trucks, buses, with a couple of them being the size of houses. And we could all see and hear them. They were falling and crashing all around us. And like I said, this was a spectacular destruction. So beautiful and deadly at the same time. It's incredible. But anyhow, I noticed that these meteors, or some of them, were molten. Because I remember specifically that one fell not too far from where we were. A huge one. Perhaps about the size of a car. And when it crashed, and you could hear that sound when it impacted the earth. Like it splashed everywhere. Because some even got on my foot. And I was expecting it to start to burn, but I didn't feel anything in the dream. And this was like hot, molten lava. That's what these meteors were like. And like I said, they were falling down in a heavy downpour. Very dangerous and deadly. And trust me, beloveds, no one would want any of these meteors to hit them, because that would be the end of them. And I honestly believe that there's only one way that you can escape this meteor shower that I witnessed. And if it's number one, perhaps if you're deep underground, or, which is the best and safest way, is to be in Yah's will. And in this way you will be where He wants you to be and be completely protected, wherever He tells you to stay put. And I also remember that it was dark. While these meteors came down, the skies got dark. It got very, very dark, beloveds. Which got me to thinking that perhaps this meteor shower that I saw will occur sometime around the 3 days of darkness. But also during the time of the meteor shower, I saw things which is unexplainable. So I'll just leave that alone. I don't know what to make of that. And I remembered also that after the meteor shower, there were some graves that were nearby to where we were. And this occurred nearby the house that I grew up. and we had some graves nearby there, and we were all standing on the graves. So while we were standing on these graves, beloveds, this was just incredible. We noticed that the graves started to rattle. But what do you mean, Q? The graves started to rattle? Beloveds, the graves that we were standing on, they started to move like you would move a rocking chair, like in the same fashion which a rocking chair would move. The graves are just rocking back and forth, and they started to become electrified. A great amount of electricity started to surge throughout the graves beneath us, that is beneath our feet, because we were standing on them. And they were rattling with such power that we had to jump off of them. And so while we were all standing there in awe and wondering what in the world is happening, beloveds, I am telling you the truth. We were getting ready to witness the great resurrection that was spoken of there in the Bible. And so after the graves stopped rattling by this electrical power, we just noticed people started getting up out of their graves. Now I'm going to describe how I saw them getting up in details, because I've noticed that in other dreams of the resurrection, people rose in different manner. They didn't raise the way that I saw these people raised right here. In other experiences, I saw people blasting up out of the dirt, and they were in white robes, as opposed to in this experience, they got up halfway out of their graves, as someone would rise up out of their sleep. So that is a big difference right there. So I noticed that right all around us, beloveds, people were getting up halfway out of their graves, like getting up while sitting, half of their torso would still be in their graves, but their top half, they would just raise up like that. Like one who would get up from a very, very deep sleep. So they would get up like that, and then after a few moments, they would get up fully and started to walk around. And beloveds, this was over a decade, and I can never forget it. It's like I just saw it just 5 seconds ago. So I can tell you in details, like 2 of the people that I remember specifically and clearly, I can never forget them. This is literally like 12 years ago, and it's very fresh in my mind. I remember that I saw a woman got up out of her grave. Well, first, let's speak about the man. This man, beloveds, this man was resurrected in a 4-piece jacket suit. Yeah, that's right. That's not even common from where I live. People wearing 4-piece jacket suits. Like, this fellow was, wow. He rose in a 4-piece jacket suit. This is the resurrection of the righteous. It has to be. He was in a 4-piece jacket suit. He had the outer jacket suit with the vest beneath, and he was wearing a yellow shirt. Pretty yellow shirt beneath all of that. Full suit, all black. And he got up and started walking around. And now I remember the woman now. The woman got up and she was wearing this very beautiful floral dress. And if you guys don't know what a floral dress is, it's a dress that is decorated with flowers. Now she was wearing, this dress was like a light blue dress, right? And it was dotted all over with small flowers that was a darker blue. So imagine the bottom color of the dress was a light blue, almost like a what they call baby blue, and it was dotted all over with a darker blue. The design had darker blue flowers that was scattered all over the dress. It was very beautiful, very pretty. I liked it. And this woman got up and started walking around as well, walking past me. I remember seeing also a little boy. Like all of these people, I don't know them. I've never seen them. But so many people got up out of those graves, beloveds, that man, could the earth contain so many people? Like, it immediately felt as if, I don't know how many of you guys ever been to New York at New Year's Eve. I think I've been there before. And it was so jam-packed, like people was just walking all over the place. And all of these people who just got up out of the ground, like it literally appeared as if the earth gave birth, as it is written there. I think it's in Isaiah chapter 26. It looked that way, beloveds, as if the earth just gave birth to these brand new people. I'm telling you that these people looked so good that they would make the best of us look like trash. Yes, beloveds. That's how lovely and how pristine these people were. I don't even know what words to use. But even as I'm stumbling over words right here, I have to make it clear to you guys that even these people that I just saw, that even these people that I'm speaking about, they are like nothing in comparison to others that I've seen in heaven. And even the great cloud of witnesses, I've seen the great cloud of witnesses, beloveds, in their glorified state. And these people that I'm telling you would make the best on the earth, even Miss World, look like trash. These people cannot even be compared to those others that I've seen in heaven. Not even a little bit. They can't be compared to them in no way. In no way, shape, or form can they be compared to those people. So it's just like the Word of God says, how star different from star in its glory. I understand that because I witnessed it. I saw it, beloveds. So anyhow, after that, and just to let you guys know, there's like a lot of time lapse in this dream, in this particular dream. After witnessing this jaw-dropping, unprecedented, unintelligible event, a group of us was like waiting for the Lord to return. I actually was surprised that He didn't come as yet. And so a group of us was still there waiting, and others as well in the body of Christ. And so I remember that there was a time lapse. So I don't know exactly how long it took for this to occur, but I remember that the time had come for Him to come for us. And I remember looking up into the skies, beloveds. We all looked up into the skies, and it was filled with these beautiful clouds. And amidst these clouds, beloveds, we literally saw a door opening in the skies, like a rectangular door. And as a matter of fact, just recently I came across this video online, which I believe to be 100% real, that someone had happened to record. And when I saw it, I had to download it, beloveds. I used it in a previous project, but also that's not the only reason why I had to download it, because I recognized it, beloveds. This door that you guys are looking at is the exact same door that I saw in that vision. Now, if that is not incredible, I don't know what is. The door looked the exact same way. That door that I saw open in that vision, that the Lord came through, it looked exactly like that. We all saw it. We saw a door open in the clouds, beloveds. And inside of it was extremely bright, blindingly bright. And so when we saw that it had opened, like back to the vision now, when we saw that the door had opened, we started to lose it, beloveds. We got so excited. And right at the entrance of the door, there was this angel standing that was wearing a white robe. You know, those robes with the very big sleeves, and the sleeves just hang all the way down. This angel just lifted his hand, and he did kind of like a wave, like he's presenting someone. He moved his right hand from in front of him to the right. You know, he made like a sway from left to right. You know how they usually do when you're making like a very polite presentation? He did something in that manner, which indicated that it was presenting us to the Lord, or both, presenting the Lord to us, presenting us to the Lord. And so when he did that gesture with his hand, we could now see the Lord coming. Oh my goodness, beloveds. Oh my goodness. Listen, we started to literally cheer the Lord like cheerleaders. We started saying like, Dada, Dada. We called him Dada. We were like, Dada, Dada. Oh my goodness. He absolutely adored it. It was literally like it was making his head swell in our earthly speaking. You know, when you're showering praise and adulation on someone and they're feeling so good. We were like, Dada, Dada. And he had this smile. But before I get to the smile, hold on. He was coming towards us, right? This extremely brilliant, blinding, super white, lightning color, brightness, like a neon white. This was just coming towards the entrance of the door. Now, it was so bright that we couldn't notice any features at all. So what he did was, while he was coming nearer and nearer towards us, towards the door, towards the entrance of the door, this door that was in the clouds for us to see him, he started shedding the light from him, right? So huge sections of light would just dissipated, like it just fizzled out and just dissipated, like from portions of his head and his shoulders and his arms. It was very clear to us that he was the one who did that, so that we could actually notice his features. And so while he was still now walking, we could start to now notice better his face, and he had on his crown. And then we saw that he took his crown off while he was still walking towards us. and then he put it under his arm, similar to how the soldiers would do in some of these movies. He took his crown off and he put it under his arms. And then more light started to shed away from his chest and his body. And I could then see clearly that he had on this beautiful golden chest piece, which is like a armor, like a golden armor that was over his chest. It is very similar to that which the traditional high priests used to wear back in the olden days in Israel. Yes, beloveds. And while we were still there shouting, Dada, Dada, we all noticed then that he had this huge smile. Beloveds, the Lord's smile was so huge. It was like the happiest time of his entire existence. I'm telling you the honest truth before God and man, beloveds. That's what I saw. It was like that moment for him was the happiest. Like if he were to get any happier, he would have just explode. And so he loved every single moment of us cheering him and calling him Dada. Now, while we were doing this, there were some other Christians, other brothers and sisters that just did not at all get why in the world we were acting this way. To them, they probably think that we were being extra or overdoing it. They couldn't comprehend it. And so they weren't this excited to see the Lord. So this goes to show you that there are some of us who are just a little bit closer to the Lord than others. Yes, beloveds, that's what had occurred. I remember them. They couldn't comprehend our excitement to that degree because they were nowhere near as excited as we were. And so while we were still now basically right at the door, we could now notice his arms and his legs. Beloveds, the Lord's hands and his legs appeared as if they were made out of lightning rods. Like literally, like they were literally lightning rods. His arms and his legs looked like lightning, beloveds. That's what the Lord looked like. I'm talking about pure. That's a P-U-R-E. Pure power. You'll be able to behold when looking at the Lord, because he's the source, beloveds. But yeah, beloveds, that was the experience. And my short description right here did no justice to what it actually was. But for my brother Hunter, who requested it, I hope hearing this account again has been a blessing to you, brother. Because it has been a great blessing to me, even just to share it again. So, beloveds, and my brother Hunter Crowley, be encouraged and know that the Lord and King, Yeshua, reigns, even now, beloveds. Yes, and the wicked one's time is almost coming to an end. And soon, at some point in the future, we shall all be dancing on the sea of glass, in the kingdom that has been prepared for all of us who love God. Now love, blessings, and peace to you all, my loves. Shalom, from your brother in Christ.